Text parsing and recognition is one of the more important disciplines under the field of natural language processing because an AI with the ability to parse through a sentence and understand its structure would be useful because it will help us draw conclusions from sentences or documents almost simultaneously. And today, using context-free grammar formulas, we're going to do both. We're going to break down or pass through a sentence and then use the structure tree that we retrieve from that sentence to draw some conclusion. And context free grammar here, what it means is we will look at the grammar and we won't care so much about the context. So this can even work on sentences that don't make semantical sense. And what we'll do here is generate the structure tree of any given sentence and then attempt to do noun phrase chunking. That is to say, we will retrieve the noun phrases from the structure tree because most of the time the noun phrase will tell us or will represent what the subject of the text or sentence or document is about. So it's usually a good heuristic to be able to do. And the way parser.py works here is that first we start by defining the terminal and non-terminal symbols. So terminal symbols are our nouns, verbs, and so on, whereas our non-terminals is the sentence structure, the noun phrase structure. Once we define both, it will use this knowledge that we pass on to the natural language toolkit, and it will use this knowledge in order to break down any sentence we give it and then retrieve the noun phrases. And we have here a couple of sentences that we can test. Let's look at 3.txt here. So we arrived the day before Thursday. And let's go ahead, jump to our terminal and try to run that. So Python parser py. Here we have the option to pass in a text file or give the input in the terminal. So let's just go ahead and pass it. Again, sentences 3.txt and let it load. Oh, it's sentences, not sentence. So here we see that if it generated two tree structures, mapping out the two possible structures that this sentence could have had. So actually there is three different tree structures. So it maps out all of the different structures, the different interpretation. And again, the idea of interpretation here is that sentences can be ambiguous, right? So I can say that I saw a man on the top of the hill with binoculars, and this could mean that I saw him with the binoculars, or that the man himself had a binocular. So those are two different interpretations, and that's why there is a couple of different tree structures for any given sentence. Then for the noun phrase chunk, we can tell that it's about a day, that is Thursday, right? Let's do it once more, and this time let's do it on, let's say, 5.txt. And again, we generate the structure and we see that the sentence talk about a companion and an enigmatic smile, right? So again, we'll have here the ability to take or perform noun phrase chunking, which tells us what the sentence is about. And now just to demonstrate what we mean here by context-free grammar, let's just go ahead and run the program like that with no command line arguments, which will prompt us for a sentence. So I can say something that doesn't make semantical sense, like saying the door came Thursday. Again, it's grammatically correct, right? That's why the thing will work, but it does not make sense. And that's why we say it's context-free, because we don't put into account whether or not this sentence makes logical sense. We rather look at the syntax, the structure of the sentence. And again, just to show that it won't work if the sentence is grammatically incorrect, saying the Holmes came yesterday, or something like that. Never mind. Let's actually do that again. If I said the same thing, that the door, right? The door came Thursday. Because I added the, now the sentence is grammatically incorrect, right? Because you cannot have the. So that's why it told us that it could not parse the sentence. And that was just a simple illustration of how a parser works and the possible uses of the parser. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.